of fluency. All right, so I'm going to start reading them as you're typing them in. What is fluency? What's your definition? I have moving through something with ease, speed and accuracy and comfort, feeling comfortable and knowing our way around the use of numbers. I like this word, automaticity, high comfort level, ease of using the skill, accuracy, precision, the use of numbers, confidence in the use, being able to do something well, almost automatically, understanding and comprehension. All right. I love this group. You know, I heard the word comfortable, and I've done this activity a couple times, and I don't think I've ever heard the word comfortable or confident so often. Knowing the information without thought, completing math problems without having to stop and think about the math facts, ability to successfully use mathematics in authentic situations. I like that one, Brenda. Thank you to everyone for your great ideas. Comfort, flows, smooth, all of these adjectives to describe fluency. Yes, I agree with all of those things. I like the accuracy and the precision because often in fluency, that's what we're expecting, especially as math instructors, right? So let me give you a very textbook definition and see what you think about that. I think that most of your ideas fit right with it. So this is some research done by Parrish in 2014, and his definition is specifically about number fluency, knowing how a number can be composed and decomposed, and using that information to be flexible and efficient with solving problems. So you can see that there's a lot more to it than simply math facts, right? Fluency is being able to use the numbers to solve problems. My definition of fluency includes the word efficient. And often when I'm teaching, I tell my students, part of the reason that you want to have your math facts known or that you want to know them is so that you can be efficient. When you get to bigger problems and you need to know each of the parts of the problem, it's much easier and faster if you know the multiplication factor, you know the math behind it, or you can do some of that with using your mental math strategies. So if we go with this as working as our definition of fluency, our working definition, if you will, I want to also put out there that our Illinois content standards, they actually de-emphasize the rote memorization of math facts, as do the Common Core, if you are familiar with those. But unfortunately, misinterpretations of the meaning of the word fluency are happening, and then unfortunately that causes kind of our publishers to continue to emphasize the rote memorization of math facts. Most of us were probably likely, just based generationally, we're probably taught in a very traditional way, using a lot of algorithms and memorization of math facts. I remember as a young child in about 3rd or 4th grade was being put in lines and shown a flashcard and how fast can you do the flashcard and which team can get through as quickly as possible. A school that I taught at, an elementary school that I taught at, did a whole assembly around knowing your multiplication facts and how fast could you do them and kind of making it into a competition. And while at the time I thought, oh, this is fun, the kids are engaged, I didn't realize how damaging that was to my students who weren't good at memorizing their facts. And you probably, has anyone had a similar experience? Were you really great at memorizing your facts? Or were you on the other end of the spectrum? Were you somewhere in the middle? Go ahead and speak to that for a minute in my question box, or you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you. So again, the question was, what's your experience been with math facts? Lori says she had to work at memorizing.
Right. So I actually didn't mean to raise. I meant to put my hand down.
Well, do you have anything to say about this? How was your memorization?
Well, we were actually just talking about how I was pretty good at memorizing math facts, but I also had good teachers who explained that this was a part of the equation, that memorizing math facts is all fine and well, but that it comes with also understanding the why behind it.
Great. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna mute you now, Ariel, but that was a great statement. Yeah, and I have a lot of people putting in the chat, I was always ahead of math, but I can see what's coming with the math facts. Practice makes perfect. A lot of practice to build up your photographic memory. Timed charts, time tests and charts of completion, right? Songs for multiplication. Math facts made me confident and secure when solving problems. Brenda said she was good at memorizing, but horrific at using the info. Parents helped me a lot at home, so made it fun. Learning math facts was something they helped me a lot with at home. Looked for patterns in numbers. So I'm seeing quite a variance with people. Generally people who would say that they were good at math might have been those people who kind of just naturally picked up the memorization of math facts, saw the patterns, and went with it. Mary just posted, scary school activity. Number your paper from 1 to 50. And then a recording played that gave the facts on about a 10-second interval. Oh my goodness, talk about pressure, right? Had to learn your math times tables. And when I started teaching in elementary school, it was such a culture, and there's been such a tradition around memorizing math facts. And those of you who maybe are even parents might be experiencing kind of your children having to memorize their math facts. Well, I'm here to tell you in this presentation, which some of you, at least Ariel, seems to be on the right track here. How can students increase their number fluency? It's not through the timed memorization of facts. That is for sure. So although most of us would say, well, I'm doing fine, right? That doesn't mean that all of us are doing fine. And this kind of reaches for my first poll question here. So now put your teacher hat back on for a second here. How many of your students have a deficiency in math fluency?